Hey guys, how's it going? It's Griever back here, bringing you guys the latest behind the bar reviews. This week's chapter of 7 Deadly Sins is chapter 286, and it is entitled Flash. Now, this chapter was really hype, and before I begin my review, just like to say, I was on the Boar's Hat podcast earlier with Grim and the rest of them. Thank you very much for the invite, that was a lot of fun. But anyways, let's jump into my thoughts on that. And also, of course, I talked about my thoughts in the podcast, but this will just be a condensed version of what I thought of the chapter, of course. Now, this chapter was really good, but there were a couple of just small little things about it that I was just kind of like, but still hype for this chapter, because we start off right off the bat, and of course we have the big stare down, and Hendrickson and Gilthunder, why are they even here? Might as well be two Yamchas standing around, waiting for shit to go down. And they basically state that these are probably the 6 strongest people in the verse right now. And I'm like, no, he's pretty much correct on that. It's kind of hard to argue anybody in their slots. Now, this is where Escanor just right off the bat, boom, takes Chandler's head, Cusack flies off, Zeldris just like, meh. And from where my standpoint, when I saw this, I believe they were all, now of course Chandler blocked it, no big deal, but they were all shot away sort of idea. And Escanor wasn't even paying attention. He's treating them like they're just a nuisance in his way. His real attack was going after that cocoon, which Meliodas is of course in. And he's like, impudent. I can't believe you it withstood one of my attacks. I'm like, Escanor, how we missed thee. Because Escanor, in this battle, still holds his own pretty good, considering what we find out later about their current power levels. Now, here's where Chandler loses his shit, saying, you can't attack the young master, I'll slay anybody who does. Merlin strikes with double impact and blasts all 3 of them, sort of idea. Now they claim, okay, so you're the witch that, managed to trick both Demon King and Supreme Deity. You have all this power. We're kind of disappointed, though. And they start attacking and stuff. Escanor tries to fend it off, but he does get blown back. Once again, power levels just kind of weird right here. And this is where she manages to go bam, even though, he cries out Merlin, but she does some crazy spell, snaps her fingers, and boom, Cusack and Chandler are shot into wherever. Now, the issue here is that when Merlin was figuring this out and said, these are people way above the level of the 10 Commandments, we get a power level reading. 173,000 for Chandler the Pacifier, and 168,000 for Cusack the Napping. Okay, so she constantly states, and we can have the argument about power levels in Dragon Ball Z and in other manga another time. Suffice to say, they are still technically relevant, though Merlin constantly, throughout this series, states numbers aren't everything. When she first gave the Dolor or the Balor or whatever translation you read, eye to Hawk, and it broke down and stuff, she stated numbers aren't everything. You can win a fight with not having the higher number. Still, the issue I have here, and we'll see how the fight plays out in later chapters, but the fact that Escanor, when his tone change happens, that was stated to be, I believe, around 114,000. I've gotten this wrong before. I thought it was 140. Apparently, officially, it was 114,900. That was the true number we got when he had the tone change, which we can suffice to say is sometime post 11 a.m. Currently, we have no indication we are at 11 a.m. And even if we are, the fact of the matter is that he's 114,000. Right now, these guys have 50,000 on him. Each. That's just like, oh, damn, what the hell? However, once again, numbers aren't everything, and I still expect Escanor to put up one hell of a fight. Because remember, once again, that total number is broken down into different categories, and for all we know, this will turn into a strength battle. Merlin might pull some crazy stunts, some crazy shit. We don't know. But suffice it to say, the numbers are quite daunting. Now, as Merlin says this, she also brings up Rue Des' power. And Rue Des' power is stated to be 201,000. 201,000. and 1,000. Now, when I talked on the podcast with the other guys, we talked about this at length, and I suffice it to say, when the archangels were stated to be somewhere between 70 and 80,000 Sariel and Tarmiel respectively, back way when, they had a number around those. That was the number given. When this number was given, when it was something like that, it's been brought to my attention that perhaps it's because their full angel bodies weren't completely healed, and also the fact that maybe the bodies they took as hosts weren't necessarily 100% compatible, so they take a loss in their power. And clearly Margaret and potentially Hendrickson, which I think we all know that Margaret's body is not going to be able to withstand this battle for long. He's going to have to toss aside the body. Gil Thunder will be like, how could you do this? And he'll take control of Hendrickson. But before that, Margaret's body must be a very uniquely good vessel for Rue Des to maintain a high level output like 201,000. Now, once again, as I said before, I think that using the grace repeatedly and during this battle, the human body of Margaret will not be able to take so much damage as maybe everybody seems to think. However, we do get the fact that no slouch here, no slouch. Like, as I said, most of this is a fight. But some of the cool things to bring up is, A, all the abilities that Rue Des is showing, the power levels given, which are still relevant in this series, so it's nice to know that information. The fact that Merlin is still OP, Escanor's actually probably going to have a kind of a hard time. Hendrickson's an idiot because when Rue Des starts attacking everyone and all this stuff, they go for a counterattack. Hendrickson rushes in and tries to grab, Rue Des or Margaret, Rue Des, whatever, like protect her or protect him. And then he's like, "Fool, you didn't need to do that. I knew their counterattack was coming." And Hendrickson's all hurt. He's like, "Well, you tried to still playing that game like fool." And then, don't worry about it. You did try to protect me and your heart was in the right place. So heal. Here you go. So kind of pointless there, really, but just to show the control and the manipulation, once again, that Rue Des has. Now, here is where... Okay, so Zeldris is apparently, and we've seen this before, when Zeldris took off Meliodas' arm in a one-on-one just slash thing, Zeldris is, I guess, touted as being the fastest swordsman in the underworld. The fastest, bar none. And Rue Des basically challenged him, says, well, I have Flash, the grace of Flash, which is basically a speed boost, and potentially some of these techniques he's using in this chapter are part of grace. We don't know. But either, suffice it to say, it's like boom, 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 and they're going back and forth, kind of a Dragon Ball Z air style. And then it's seen cut, and then Zeldris takes a massive cut. And it's like, whoa! Okay, so even Rue Des got Zeldris like, this is going to be a pretty good fight. Cusack, just like Chandler before him, loses his shit, Master Zeldris, and all this crap. So, suffice to say, very heavy action-oriented chapter. Very heavy on the action, but great action. It's really cool to see. This is where we get a great one-liner from Zeldris after Rue Des tries to talk shit. Because Rue Des says, damn, didn't your older brother ever teach you how to properly treat a woman, like cutting up a woman's body? And Zeldris is like, my older brother wouldn't go around possessing women's bodies in the first place. It's like, damn! Zeldris bringing the damn, I don't even know what to say to that. I'm just like, nice. Zeldris still being a boss, still being great. However, the end of the chapter is where I do, even though I'm hyped. It's hype, guys. Zeldris, original power. Chandler and Cusack jump back. They're like, oh shit, he didn't say he was going to pull this stunt. And apparently Zeldris is in like a Bonkai looking stance, and he's going to pull off his original magical power. So not his commandment, and not his just overall demonic darkness as a gift as Hand of the Demon King. Now, the only issue I have with this hype is that Zeldris just revealed this. Like, Meliodas did the same thing like 2 chapters ago, guys. Like, could this not have been pushed to a different place or time? Or could this not have been done earlier? Suffice it to say, the whole from Estarossa to Estamale to Heaven's Theater to the creation to the Gother saving him to Male coming back, they could have broken up that. Purgatory should have happened somewhere in the middle, and then we continued Heaven's Theater. Or this should have happened somewhere. They should have split this up more, because that was dragged out for a very long time, week to week, month to month. And now it feels like, okay, so Meliodas has an original power. Full counter isn't it? That's something you learned from Chandler. And it's this crazy thing that apparently can slice off the Demon King's arm without problem, who we know is OP as shit. And it's like, whoa, some original magical power. What is it? We're all hyped. And then literally we have a couple chapters and boom, Zeldris is like, now for my original power. It's feeling a little bit like the end of Bleach, where it was like, you get a Bankai, and you get a Bankai, and you get a Bankai. It's a Super Saiyan bargain sale. 2 for the price of 1 sort of mentality here. The hype is still there. The hype, I want to know what it is. Please don't tell me it's some, even though this would be devastating, some Tozen level Bankai or something like that, or some darkness enveloping, take away your senses, bring you into a globe of darkness thing. Because I feel like for Zeldris that would be lame. I hope this is something really original. Though that skill of taking away your senses and being a boss would be deadly, it would be a little lackluster. Like, this has some major hype behind it, so I hope this is something really original that none of us are expecting. I'm really hyped to see the next chapter. Once again, a little disappointed because of the not the pacing, but the timing of this reveal. Of having Meliodas' big shocker reveal, and then having Zeldris' the next couple chapters. Once again, had they broken it up during the whole Heaven's Theater fight with Estamale, would have been way more hyped. But still, the hype is real, guys. Excited for 287. What did you guys think of the chapter? Everybody loved it. I didn't talk to a single person who thought this was a bad chapter. We've been waiting for the showdown with Escanor and Merlin's group for a while. This is really hype. What did you guys think of the review? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please like, subscribe as always. It's always very much appreciated. This has been Griever with your Behind the Bar reviews. As always, drink responsibly. We'll see you back here for chapter 287, guys. Till then, later.